Welcome into Texans Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and today we're breaking down the latest Texans trade rumors and another free agent running back linked to Houston. But I promise you by the end of this month, every single running back that's a free agent is going to be linked to the Houston Texans because that is one of their biggest areas of needs on the offensive side of the football. But before we get started, we've got a ton of new subscribers, and I want to keep that going. Our Washington channel is actually catching up on us, so if you haven't subscribed already, do so. And I want to give a shout out because I know a lot of you have your notifications turned on. You don't know, you just hit the bell icon beneath the video. But if you do have your notifications turned on, I want to give you a shout out and say thank you for keeping up with this channel. Go down and spam the bell emoji in the chat if you do have your notifications turned on. If you're part of the Noti gang, go down and let me know so I can show you a little love in the comment section. Now, right into it, our first story of the day. Texans named as one of the top trade candidates for Stefon Diggs in a recent article by Bleacher Report. This is what they had to say. Similar to the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago, Houston can acquire a bona fide number one receiver in exchange for first and middle round draft picks. Keep in mind that Philadelphia acquired Brown in exchange for a first and third rounder a couple of months before his 25th birthday. Diggs may cost a little less than Brown because of his age, but his resume still allows the Bills to command a premium draft capital. And this is the trade that they ended up throwing out there in this article. The Texans, they received Stefon Diggs, and in return, the Bills give the Texans first and fourth round picks in this year's draft, number 23 and number 123. Now, I have some takes on this, but before I say anything, I want to give you folks a chance to speak your mind. So, let me know. Simply, would you make this trade? Give me a yes, give me a no in the comment section. This is going to be our pinned comment, so a YouTube ad break might play here. Perfect timing. Go down and let me know. Would you make this trade? And let me know why you would or why you wouldn't make this trade. I wouldn't make this trade, and it's simple. He's 30 years old. They said it right there in the article, and I don't know how that didn't affect his trade value going forward. And I mean, they even said A.J. Brown got a first and a third whenever he was 24 turning 25. Stefon Diggs is 30. Now, granted, as we look at his stats over the last 4 seasons, this dude has balled out. Over 1,000 yards in each of the past 4 seasons. And, I mean, has really found a home there in Buffalo where he has played his ass off. I mean, look at 2020. Over 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. And just last season, over 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. This year, a little bit, I mean, I'm going to say a down year. He still had over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. But for Stefon Diggs, the most that I would give is a second-round pick and maybe a late-round pick. That's the most I would give for Stefon Diggs. And I don't even know if I would still do that because his contract, he's going to cost a lot of money. And for draft capital, the wide receiver room is loaded in this year's draft. So why not draft a guy in the first or second if you're really trying to get a wide receiver and be able to have them on a rookie deal rather than trade for Stefon Diggs and pay his enormous contract that the Bills still owe him? I mean, now saying it, I don't even know if I would do it for a second and a late round pick. Maybe a third round pick, but definitely not a first round pick for Stefon Diggs, in my opinion. Now, coming up, I'm going to tell you about a free agent running back, the latest one out of a long list of free agent running backs that have been linked to the Houston Texans. But today's show would not be possible without our friends over at Game Time. Use the promo code NFL Chat for $20 off your first purchase whenever you're a new member for Game Time when you use that code NFL Chat. And hey, this week it's happening in Las Vegas. You know what it is. It's the big game. And you got to use code Vegas100. You want to get $100 off the big game. And hey, I know in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge amount for you, but still, $100, that's what, 4 or 5 beers? That's, you know, an extra show that you can go to while you're in Vegas. Regardless, use the code BIGGAME if you are planning on going. I know a lot of people probably not. The prices are pretty high. Inflation sucks. I get it. But if you are, go ahead and use Big Game with or go and use code Vegas100 for the big game. Or if you're a first-time user, like I said, when you download the Game Time app, you can use code NFL Chat for $20 off. Game Time is last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Go use Game Time. Go check them out. football, concerts, more. Go check him out today with Game Time. Next up is Josh Jacobs. He's being linked to your Houston Texans by another Bleacher Report article saying the Texans are the top landing spot for the former Raiders running back who is set to hit free agency. Now, this year was a down year after he had a colossal 2022 campaign tallying over 1,600 yards, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage last season as well. 12 touchdowns on the ground. This year, didn't play as much, 13 games played. That offense struggled with Jimmy G, but I still believe Josh Jacobs is a good running back. So I want to ask you, before I get more into what I'm thinking around Josh Jacobs, would you sign Jacobs in NFL free agency? There's a lot of names to choose from. Let me know down in the comment section. Type S for sign, type P for pass. What would you do? Would you sign Josh Jacobs? If you were sitting next to Caserio and he said, hey, what should we do with Josh Jacobs? Let me know down in the comment section what you would do. I would sign him for the right price. And now, like I said, there's a lot of running backs on the free agent market this season. It's okay. That's not completely right, so you don't have to show that. But still, there's a ton of running backs still around in free agency. So you could still get a Derrick Henry. You could still get a Saquon. But I believe Josh Jacobs could be less expensive than those guys. So for Josh Jacobs, for getting a running back, getting your workhorse back to pair along with Dameon Pierce, I think Josh Jacobs could be that guy. He's a very talented and, strong running back, can get those extra yards as needed. Didn't have the burst as much this season, but I think for around $6-7 million a year, Josh Jacobs is not a bad option at all for your Houston Texans. Now, is he my top option out of all the free agents? No, I still would love the idea of going out and getting Saquon Barkley. But if his price tag is way too much for the Texans to handle, which obviously they have enough cap space to sign Saquon Barkley if they want to, but if Saquon's asking for 10, 11, 12, 13, $14 million a year, then yeah, I'd rather have Josh Jacobs at around $7-8 million a year if he's willing to take that. Now, I do think Jacobs might want to stay with Antonio Pierce. Him and Pierce have a good connection there in Las Vegas, but if the option arises, if he's looking for a new home, I would not mind signing the running back from Las Vegas in Josh Jacobs. Now, that's all I have for you on today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button or go to youtube.com/TexansTV. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest Texans news and rumors 24/7, hit me up on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. NFL memes, NBA, the latest around the sports scene, I got you on Twitter. And like I said at the beginning of the show, our Commanders show has caught up. So if you haven't already, if you made it this far, we're obviously doing something right. Hit that subscribe button for daily Texans videos, more draft videos to come, more free agency videos to come. We are the fastest growing Texans channel on YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Go hit that sub button right now.